Yo, what's up everyone and welcome back to another PvP guide. Ajol here and today's focus will be Havoc Demon Hunter. Recently I have started diving into other classes as well, so expect more and more PvP guides in the future. Hopefully this will help a lot more players improve or make it easier for them to get into PvP. This guide is for patch 9.0.5 in which we will cover talents, PvP talents, legendaries, covenants, soulbinds, conduits and stat priority. Like always, I will do my best to keep this as short as possible, so without wasting any more time, let's get started. As you well know, in this expansion demon hunters are extremely squishy and are very susceptible to dying in stuns. Since BFA a lot has changed, however demon hunter still brings a lot of damage and burst potential along with probably the best mobility in the game, especially if you go Night Fae. Fell Rush, Fell Blade, Meta, Vengeful Retreat, Soul Shape and even the Hunt can be used to kite, close the gap or outmaneuver your opponents in any PvP situation. You should exploit that mobility to its highest potential. Don't take unnecessary damage during enemy offensive cooldowns. If you are not stunned, you can run. If you get stunned, you need to coordinate with your teammates to stay alive. With the addition of Mortal Rush and the burst potential from the Hunt and Unbound Chaos, Demon Hunters are very dangerous opponents to deal with. A simple combination of I-Beam, Death Sweep, the Hunt, Fell Rush can do insane amounts of damage and should net you a killing blow if used at the right time. Your default talent build should be Fell Blade, Demon Blades, Unbound Chaos, Soul Rending, First Blood, Fell Eruption and Demonic. There are of course variations, some I recommend, some I don't. Demonic Appetite and Insatiable Hunger will give you better sustained self-healing and around the same damage and fury generation. However, you lose a crucial gap closer and some on-demand fury generation. One Fell Blade will connect you to your target and will provide enough fury to both stun and I-beam your target, and you get more free GCD by not having to press Demon Bites. Fell Blade will also help you save at least one Fell Rush charge to help you get away and kite. Remember, mobility is your biggest strength. For tier 35 we have a second strong option with Nether Walk. By default you will play with Soul Rending, but if you play against bursty compositions, Nether Walk is the way to go. Alongside with darkness and assistance from your teammates, it should be enough to keep you alive in most situations. For tier 40 I did test a few times Cycle of Hatred and it looks really good on paper, but if you find yourself kiting and just going in during burst windows, you will not get full value out of this talent. Maybe in 9.1 when Chaos Strike gets buffed, this might be a very viable option. For tier 45, if you play a composition that already brings a lot of stuns like a rogue or a feral, Master of the Glaive can be a much better option to keep constant snares on the enemy team, especially if they stack. Moving on to PvP talents, your default picks should be Cover of Darkness, Mortal Rush and Reverse Magic. In all healer DPS situations, Cover of Darkness and Mortal Rush are mandatory, and then you need Reverse Magic versus Priests, Warlock, Paladins, Hunters and so on. Getting rid of a CC, Mind Games or a full set of dots can prove invaluable in the right situations. If you don't need reverse magic, you can go for Rain from Above and use it as another defensive cooldown versus melee. Cleansed by Flame can be used versus magic root effects from druids and mages. For example, versus Rogue Mage, my favorite PvP talents are Cover of Darkness, Reverse Magic and Cleansed by Flame. Reverse Magic to dispel Ring of Frost or Polymorph, and Cleansed by Flames to get myself out of Frost Nova. Other honorable mentions are Eye of Leotheras, which can be very strong in duels, I guess. And last PvP talent is Mana Rift, but with the current damage in the game, almost nobody uses it, as most teams lose anyway before healer goes out of mana. Next up, legendaries. There are currently 3 legendaries worth talking about right now in PvP. First one is Darkest Hour, which provides an additional darkness when you drop below 35% and acts as a safety net for burst windows and will allow you to save trinket or other defensive cooldowns. You always need this versus strong burst compositions like Rogue Mage. Needless to say that you need to pick the Cover of Darkness PvP talent. Next legendary and my personal favorite is Collective Anguish. Not only you get more damage from I-Beam, the Fell Devastation also heals you by a lot. This is the best legendary in my opinion for constant pressure and sustained damage. Enjoy. Another legendary I've seen a few times is Chaos Theory, but the reason I don't like it, and I think other players don't like it either, is because of its RNG. Nobody likes RNG. We can now move to Covenants. The best Covenant for Demon Hunters is obviously Night Fae, and the best Soulbind being Korean. The reason for this again is because mobility is king. Wild Hunt Tactics fits like a glove. The movement speed bonus stacks with your mastery speed bonus and any other speed bonuses you get. And it also activates from your self-healing when you are low HP. An overall strong trait. Keep in mind that the healing bonus while you are low HP applies to your self-healing as well, including Fell Devastation. I did multiple tests to verify this. You're welcome. I know probably other pick a different path, but this is the one I currently favor as I mostly played double DPS in this patch. Wild Hunt Tactics, Wild Hunt Charge works with Shadow Meld, and Face Your Foes. The reason why I did this is because I wanted 2 Endurance Conduits and Horn of the Wild Hunt is useless anyway. My choice of Conduits is as follows. Viscous Ink is best in slot Endurance Conduit in my opinion. Everybody does magic damage now, including warriors. Condemn does shadow damage, therefore this conduit helps mitigate a lot of damage in the current meta. At 200 item level, this conduit will reduce an additional 8% magic damage, making it to a total 18% damage reduction. For my finesse conduit, I picked Fellfire Haste. More speed please. For my second endurance conduit I picked Roaring Fire, as Devastation will heal even more with this conduit and the Wild Hunt Tactics. One I-Beam can easily heal over 12k if you are low HP. If you don't like it, Fell Defender is a strong option as well, and for the potency conduit, Unnatural Malice is rank 1 option. More damage for the hunt is something you can't refuse. However, we are not done with Covenants. There is a second best Covenant for Demon Hunters, and that is Necrolord, if you want a more tanky approach for the class. Father to the Flame is not bad at all. It has around 1.6 procs per minute. It does okay damage and heals you for a lot. It says it heals you for 25% HP, but you also get a Soul Fragment which heals you for another 20% HP, and on top of that the Demon Soul Fragment also buffs your damage by 20% for 15 seconds. You also get the benefits of Ooze Frictionless Coating, Fleshcraft and Ultimate Form. This will boost your survivability by a lot, but you will lose some mobility and some burst by not having the hunt. The choice is yours. For conduits, I recommend Brooding Pool, Viscous Ink, Relentless Onslaught and Roaring Fire. Have fun. For stat priority, we have the same story. Versatility comes first as always, so there is no debate here. After versatility, you want as much haste as possible. Demon Hunters have insane synergy with haste, Fellblade cooldown, faster Demon Blades, extra chance to reset the Fellblade, Immolation Aura cooldown, and so on. In any slot you can't get haste, try to get Critical Strike. And lastly, we have Mastery. Although Mastery looks very good because it also gives us move speed, it would only buff the damage of Chaos Strike, Fell Rush and I-Beam. Everything else doesn't get buffed. With all of that being said, I think we pretty much covered everything. If there is anything else you would like to add, please share your ideas and thoughts in the commentary section below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already, as this will help the channel a lot. Thank you all for watching, and remember to stay PvP. Bye bye.